Hey guys, I've got another great update for you. I've incorporated a lot of the feedback that you guys gave me in your very awesome PDF, but there are a few elements where I feel like we might want to deviate from your feedback. So let's jump into it. First things first, we've really narrowed down the foyer and the hallway circulation space. This is really quite minimal. It could be smaller. I'm showing a consistent 4 foot wide hallway space. I really like that for the length of this space, but of course, if you wanted the bedrooms to be a little bit bigger, we could steal 6 inches from the hallway and give it to the bedrooms. But I really wouldn't want to do that. I really want to maintain a 4 foot wide hallway. I'd like it to be even wider than that for what it's worth, but I understand where you guys are coming from and wanting to have minimal circulation. But 4 foot wide seems to be really great. Here though, at the entry, at the foyer, I might want to bring this wall with the door just down 1 more foot, make it 5 feet. It still feels a little bit cramped and narrow here, but at least with the wall leading into the great room set back an additional 2 feet, it makes this distance a nice square 6. And that feels okay, especially with the door swinging open this way and opening out onto the one bench here. The bench, when you're sitting down here, you're looking out a nice bit of glass here, which could be mirrored over and symmetrical on this side. So I think this is a really great foyer design, but again, I might just want to move this down 1 more foot. In your comments, you had the idea of, do we want to do symmetrical benches? And absolutely, I think that could be a fantastically beautiful elevation for this back wall, really top notch. But I do also want to balance that with your previous iterations, your previous feedback of wanting more storage space. So I think it might be better to make this a full closet rather than another bench. But we can absolutely go with the bench here if you guys ultimately decide you don't need this additional storage area. Same comment about the, should we go with a full shower here for the guest bathroom? And I would say probably not, given how infrequently you expect this shower to be used by your very infrequent overnight guests in the flex room. I don't think you need to go full shower. I think you'd probably get a better use out of this being either a standalone coat closet or a linen closet to service this bathroom, especially if we're not going with a closet here. If you decide to go bench here, I would absolutely go with a smaller square shower. Just save on that space. Use it for storage instead. One concern I have that I've mentioned before is that if anyone is going to be using this as their bedroom and they want to take a shower here, they will have to walk past the entry, through the foyer, past the great room. And I just want to highlight again that is not very nice for the guests, but again, given how infrequent it is, perhaps it's going to be okay. That's probably my one issue with having this bathroom here rather than where I had it before with the larger, deeper foyer space. Other than that, I think, well, there's one more thing that we'll talk about where I deviated, but I think most of your other feedback was pretty great. Flipping the laundry room to this side of the hallway really does clean up the access to these 3 kids' bedrooms. And like you've said, these 2 boys are not close to the same age, so they probably don't need to have their doors opening into the same area like I was showing before. So I'm okay with this door here opening into the bedroom. Let's see. All of this is looking pretty good. So the one other thing that I deviated from is I really want to make sure that we have this space for this vestibule for your master suite. I don't want, when you're looking down the hall, when you're walking down the hall, for you to look through this door and see your bed right here, especially your pillows right here. When you're lying in bed at night, I wouldn't want you rolling over to your side and looking down this long hallway. I feel like the way I'm showing it now is probably better, definitely better. You open up, the door opens, you still do get this immediate sense of view to the 2 trees out here. This is now an uninterrupted bed wall. We could have glass right here Definitely a lot of glass here, definitely a lot of glass flanking these patio doors. And stepping out onto a covered patio would be really nice. And then the walk-in closet is, I hope, convenient enough. You know, I noticed in your sketch that you had the access to the closet on one side of the bed, but I do feel like this is just as good, just as close. And given the size of the room, there's space for dressers or space for a dresser and a chair here tucked into the corner. I feel like this is great. You take a door in here, sneak past the tub that's centered on this wall, shower tucked into the corner, water closet here with access to natural light, and then hopefully we can get some windows on either side of the sinks here to bring in some natural light and view in from the master bathroom as well. The walk-in closet being inboard is okay with me. I think I will try to incorporate a skylight so we can bring natural light into this space. That way when you pop into the vestibule here, there could be some natural light coming in through here, as well as all the natural light coming in from the bedroom. Let's see. So let's see. Going back to the foyer space, you know, I've changed up a little bit of this back wall of the great room. I think it'd be really great now that we've got this bench and closet area flanking the foyer. I think it'd be great to have some tall library shelving at the back end here as well. Let me know what you think about that. The great room has shifted back a few feet to line up this hallway and make room for the depth of these closets, but we're fine. As long as we show at least 10 feet of clearance between these two structures, we'll be fine in terms of code and zoning and all that. I've made the garage bigger, flanked on both sides with, or wrapped all three sides with storage, and have rearranged the garage door. So now we have about 3.5 feet of wall space, 20-foot garage door, 1 foot of wall space, 18-foot garage door, 18, not 20. 18-foot garage door, 1 foot of wall space, 9-foot garage door, and then that same 3.5 feet. So I think this will look pretty good in elevation. I think that's going to look good. And there's still the possibility for you to build a temporary wall or a wall after the fact here. It just might make it a bit tight with the clearance for the cars, but I think given the desire to have a 3-car garage without that intervening wall, this is probably the nicest elevation look for the 3-car garage. One other change, as we changed up the bathroom cores here, we've shifted this wall up the page a little bit, which kind of ate into the pocket I was having for the sliding glass pocket doors. So I've shifted the covered patio up the page off this wall. I think this will be great. The one maybe downside is that instead of having 2 drop-down screens, we'll now have to do 3 drop-down screens. But this one could be a little bit shorter because I would imagine it'd be great to have some storage, some low storage right here for this outdoor dining area. And so that drop-down bug screen would stop 3 feet higher off the ground. And then we can get some uninterrupted windows for this bedroom, and then get some glass high up for this bathroom as well. And still, your landscape architect could do some narrow, tall plantings here. But that's a topic for another day, or another discussion, I think. Another topic for another day. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. Let's see, I think that about covers it for the floor plan changes to the main home. For the ADU, I have added a lot more upper cabinets. The sink here, centered on the counter, could have 4 feet between these 2.5-foot wide banks of upper cabinets, which would be enough for a 3-foot wide casement window that can crank out. So, I'd like to have more glass here, but I understand we need to balance that with your need for upper cabinets. But maybe, we could just get by with having what I've shown before, upper cabinets here, upper cabinets here. Now turning the fridge this way, we could get an appliance garage here, so full height storage here for your appliances. And then a reduced little walk-in storage area here. Let's see. I filled in the corner here. Part of that was the reason why that was there before wasn't about the setbacks. It was about trying to uh, get more area here for a window for the bedroom, so that when you're lying in bed in this bedroom here, you have some access to the view of this elm tree here. So that was really driving that. But I think, given how small that area was, it's easy enough to fill that in. And this doesn't shrink up too much. I can still get a decent sized window here. But what I don't want to do, one of your comments was about moving this covered patio space to, oops, oh, what happened there? Excuse me. Was moving this covered patio space over to, over to this side of the house. I don't want to do that, and that's because with a bigger roof here, we're definitely going to cut off views to the canopy of this tree. So I'd rather keep the patio space on this side. That way, that really cool idea you have about the two tables at this big piece of glass here, the view is more towards the trees, more towards these giant trees, rather than coming out this way and having the view be towards the mudroom glazing. There's still going to be a lot of glass here, so people sitting here will have a view this way, but again, they've got the view is directed more towards the trees. I think looking at the site plan, you've got this rounded hedge element here. It does seem like there's still plenty of room to incorporate some planting and some garden area here. I don't think this needs to move, but we can touch on that more when we talk live about these changes here. Guys, I'm looking forward to the feedback tomorrow. Thank you so much.